Chapter 41. Ding dong. I was growing concerned as attendance and giving plummeted in July and August of 2013. Of course, I always wonder what we're doing wrong, and I ask myself the reason that this experience isn't valuable enough for return attendance. Why do a third of our people just walk away? I thought September would reignite the energy, but in truth, it wasn't a boom. It wasn't even a decent pop. The September return to church didn't happen. On top of that, the regular donors to Streetwise suddenly stopped sending in their support in August. We thought that it might have been due to the fact that we weren't open for the month, but when September rolled around, nothing improved. By the end of September, we were down to around $600 in the account, just enough to fund 3 meals in October, and that's it. Attempts to raise support and contact our donor base proved fruitless. In a last-ditch effort to raise some much-needed cash for Streetwise, we were selected as one of several charities to enter a local car dealership's charity giveaway. Thousands of dollars were up for grabs for the first through fifth place finishers who simply needed to persuade people to like the dealership on Facebook and then vote for their charity. Several of us, with hundreds upon hundreds of friends each in our respective databases of Facebook friends, took to the infamous social media platform with the purpose of asking all of our friends and acquaintances to vote for us. Hopefully, we could get some much-needed financial help. We didn't think we could be number one because homeless outreach can never compete with charities that help pets. Furry animals are much more cute and cuddly than bearded homeless guys. But we thought we could land 4th or 5th. Even a last-placed finish at 5th was worth $2,500. For weeks, we posted, shared, liked, and begged our friends to vote for us. We couldn't even get 300 votes. The final days of the competition, we asked our congregation to please help us and push this effort on their social media sites since we desperately needed the income to keep the program going. On the closing day of the competition, we lagged far behind and well out of any money position. We lost, and lost big. Some of us were frustrated, others saddened. Some of our team had tried so hard to rally their friends to support us to no avail. I must admit that there was more than a touch of anger. This is probably a testament to the quality of relationships fostered on social media sites. We each posted numerous thanks to all of the friends who did vote, though, and we thanked the dealership for selecting us as one of the charities we're supporting. On Facebook, we read over and over the gushing thank yous to the dealership from the winners who were each receiving thousands of dollars of assistance. Tanya and I decided God was saying that it was time to quit. We would host the 3 more meals and then finish the ministry. It was kind of a bummer concerning timing because we were just setting up to launch a Jesus-focused recovery ministry on Sunday nights in October following the mealtime. I guess some things aren't meant to be. We also could tell that the end of the church was coming. We were dying, and it was just a matter of time before we closed. Tanya began a search to discover what else she should do with her talents and skills. It was time to find a new job and discover what else was out there. We spent the weekend reading some books which investigate one's soul, spirit, and personality in order to see what she might do next. Strength Finders 2.0 was one such book. After looking over her top 5 strengths and discovering ways to use them, she determined that they all were being used to a great degree in her present dream job at Streetwise. We were in the middle of discussing this on the Monday evening following the online vote when the doorbell rang. We don't get anyone ever ringing the doorbell, except to sell something, so I begrudgingly got up to answer the door. A young guy in his 20s was standing there and he said, "I've been asked to give you this for Streetwise. It's from someone who wants to remain anonymous," as he handed me a thick white envelope. "What?" I said, fumbling. "For Streetwise? Well, thanks so much. What's your name?" "I'm Chris, but I don't live around here. I'm visiting from Seattle," he answered. "I've been asked to bring this to you from the anonymous donor. That's all." He finished, turned, and walked away. I brought the envelope inside and tore it open to discover a 4-inch thick stack of $20 bills and a handwritten note which simply said, "Please allow this money to bless Streetwise. We're sorry you didn't win the car dealership's competition, but hold on to hope," underlined. "God will provide. Thank you for all of your love and dedication to the people of Spokane." It was unsigned. Tanya and I had sent little flyers around the neighborhood in which we lived to get votes for the competition. This had to be coming from one of them. It was amazing and inspiring. This is what we would have received had we finished in 5th place. We immediately began making calls to spread the incredible news. Everyone began posting and reposting online. Word spread like wildfire on our numerous Facebook pages. This time, the thanks were going to Jesus, not to a car dealership. As this was happening, several others were going to the Streetwise webpage and making personal donations through our PayPal account. By the next day, we had over $4,000. Tanya heard Jesus clearly say to her that the work isn't finished yet. There is still much to do. He told her how the ministry was his. It was in his hands and his hands alone. The glory needed to go to him and not to an ad campaign for cars. Had we collected the votes ourselves, we might have then said, we did this by human effort and persistence. But this way, he assured us, he was the one providing and sustaining the work. We've known for a long time that there really isn't a First Covenant church without Streetwise, and there isn't a Streetwise without First Covenant church. We are inextricably intertwined, and the mutual need and support between this church and this neighborhood outreach are such that one will not and cannot truly exist without the other. Jesus is creating a different kind of church here, even though we seem small and weak. He continues to say that he has work for us to do, and that his hand is on us to bring that work to full completion. I had been doing this crazy journey for too long. I was coming up on the end of 5 years of being at this bizarre little church which had no hope of life and yet kept on living. We were a zombie church in a zombie neighborhood, and we were attracting zombie people. Almost dead, but not really. I still find the math hard to add up. Our giving never reached our budget, and we had lost several $1,000s each and every month except for one occasion during all those 5 years. In addition, we somehow raised funds through donations or grants to sustain Streetwise to the tune of over $30,000 or more per year, which was completely outside of our church budget. I don't have any idea how that really happened. It was during this process of coming to what looked like the end of Streetwise that Tanya and I completely let go of any control, hope, expectation, or desire of what the future would bring. God would have to save it or kill it, breathe life into it, or suck out the last molecule of oxygen from it. And we were at total peace with whatever would be his choice. We felt the same about the church ministry. It was as much a curse to keep it going as it was to let it die, if we considered the overall cost to our own emotional health and happiness. We simply let go of the last threads of control after this little social media experiment. We just weren't going to try anymore. People who visit us would often describe a sense that God's presence was here, and that something profound was happening, even when we, who are constantly immersed in a struggle, no longer see it or feel it. I suppose he likes running us to the end of ourselves in order to discover him.